means money that we're giving away. You just have to meet the requirements. First thing that I will mention is that in order to receive NYSERDA grants, most of our funding comes from the Clean Energy Fund. So most of the funding that we have available in the form of grants, you will have to be paying into SBC through your utility to qualify for those grants. I'll point out a few exceptions to that, but for the most part, if you're a NYPA customer, these grants are not available to you, or if you're a LIPA customer or a Muni customer. But I thought I'd point that out. Also, I just want to give you a bit of our language so you understand. We have two primary types of offers in the market. One is an open enrollment offer, which means that as long as we have funding available, if you meet the qualifications, the funding is available for you. It's given out on a first-come, first-served basis until we exhaust the funding. And the other are competitive awards, where there's a fixed dollar amount that we make available to the market, and you will be competing with other projects. And I have both types of those. And then another definition that will be helpful, when we talk about new construction and funding for new construction, we're talking about either a new building or a gut rehab of an existing building. So a building going through a change of use could qualify for our new construction funding. In the open enrollment category, we have funding available for multifamily and commercial construction. The caps range based on the type of building. The commercial formula is done by energy savings per square foot and the square foot of the building. In the multifamily sector, it's energy savings per unit, and we have a richer formula if it's a low and moderate income qualified building versus a market rate building. But the caps, project caps are somewhere, they range from $500,000 to $650,000. What we give money for, we'll give you money for putting in a superior building envelope. So a superior building envelope, regardless of how you heat and cool your building, is going to reduce load. It's going to reduce load in the summer, reduce load in the winter. We will give you funding for smart building technology. Buildings that use smart technology, looking at energy use, typically use 10 to 15% less energy. A lot of energy is wasted due to over-conditioning the building. So smart systems. And if you're electrifying your building, you can apply the NYSERDA heat pump grants on top of our new construction awards. So we're built to, let's just suppose you're putting in a building that's got let's say passive solar, PV, heat pumps, a superior building envelope. You would have our funding would help with the design of the building for our new construction funding. And then you could put on top of that funding NYSERDA funding for PV and NYSERDA funding for heat pumps. So you could stack those on top and actually get a lot of funding for your project. We also allow you to qualify for an incentive based on what you plan to build. We ultimately award the incentive on what you do build, but we allow you to pull a percentage of your total award forward to early in the project. Because while lots of things that get designed are never built, if it's not designed, it will never get built. So we want you to be able to do the engineering, the analysis, to look at these alternative technologies, look at what they really cost, look at what it takes to build them, and so we do allow you to pull money forward for design. In the competitive zone, just a couple things to be talking about. Launching in just a few weeks is Net Zero for Economic Development. So there'll be, for this one, and again, these would be These would be grants that are available on top of other NYSERDA incentives and awards. There'll be one regional grant of $1 million in the Hudson, the Regional Economic Development Zone. But even more important for Westchester County is there's also in Net Zero for Economic Development an award category of up to $5 million that would go to community or campus-based development. And so, for example, and I'm just giving this as an example, when I went and presented at the Regional Economic Development meeting, the New Rochelle Industrial Development was talking about their big project to revitalize a section of downtown New Rochelle. That type of a project could qualify for the based on meeting our having the best approach to get to net zero could qualify for that type of funding. So those are competitive awards. And then another award that's available in the market right now, and I imagine that the due date of June 4th might be a little tight for anybody who's not already thinking of it, is Buildings of Excellence competition. And that would be an additional up to $1 million for a multifamily building project. What I will note is we have 10 $1 million prizes this year. We will have 10 $1 million prizes for projects next year and the following year. So if your projects that are in your pipeline aren't in a position where they could compete in this competition this year, there'll be 2 more rounds of money. And you can read the details. Anybody that deals with NYSERDA knows that there's lots and lots of details. So if you reach out to us, we'll help you work through that. For existing buildings, we also have some offers, both open enrollment and competitive. In the open enrollment, we'll pay 50% of the cost of you doing an engineering study, doing sustainability planning, a specific project, or looking at a portfolio through our FlexTech offer. So that's something that's open right now. Real-time energy management, we pay for 30% of the cost of a real-time energy management system. We have over 50 qualified vendors. And we'll be doing some business development with FlexTech and real-time energy management in Westchester County, and free screening for heat pumps for existing buildings as well. And then competitive awards. So we have also coming up in May an award we call the Carbon Challenge. We have $15 million in total funding with awards of up to $5 million. And that's for a comprehensive project in an existing building. And then Energy to Lead is a fall competition. Energy to Lead, any college campus can apply to. There'll be 5 prizes of up to $1 million to support campus sustainability. And then finally in the fall, we'll have a Westchester Carbon Challenge, $15 million directed towards Westchester County projects. And again, $15 million of funding available, awards of up to $5 million, and we plan on having roughly a December 1st and an April 1st due date. We'll move the money into the market as fast as we can, but we want to give people time to develop projects. And if you need resources to develop projects, look at our new construction program, look at FlexTech, because we can provide funding to help you develop projects. Thanks.